Welcome to today's class. Today we are going to consider in our Microsoft Office 2016 practical classes, we're going to consider mailings tab. Mailings tab is here. Mailing is very wonderful and fantastic when it comes to word processing in Microsoft Office Word. Today I'm going to teach you only one thing in mailings. Please pay attention. If you miss one step, you miss everything. For the sake of this class, we will be treating mail match. It is the only thing we are taking from these mailings. Then we move to review and view. Then we say bye to Microsoft Office Word 16. You're welcome. I know you're going to enjoy this class very well. So please pay attention. I'm starting and I promise to be very slow, but pay attention please. To start a mail match in Microsoft Office Word 16, navigate your cursor to Mailings tab here. When you click on Mailing tabs, click on the Start Mail Match. Do you see it here? Start Mail Match. I click on this button to show the rest. So you are introduced to these options. Which kind of mail match do you want to create? Okay, sorry, let me explain what is mail match. Mail match is your ability to create one message to many recipients at once without wasting your time writing their name, each with its address. This is very time consuming. So you are going to create one document. Let's say it's an invitation for interview or appointment letter or invitation to attend meeting or anything like this. So when you create one message for all, now mail match will allow you to have multiple recipients at once without you wasting time creating address of this, and etc. It's very simple. I know it and I'm going to prove it to you. Wonderful. Okay, let's start. When you click on the Start Mail Match here, you are exposed to options like letters. What do you want to create? Is it a letter? Do you want to send multiple letter to multiple recipients? Or is it an email messages that you want to create to multiple recipients? Or envelope, or is it labels, or directory, whatsoever you want to see, you want to select based on your purpose of selecting it. Now let's take for instance, in my case here today in this class, we are going to use letters. Now I select letters because the message that I want to send is letters, so I select letters. You see step 1, I select letters. You see nothing happen. It has exposed me to an environment to write my letter. So let's say this is my letter, I have written it and I want to send it to many people. And the letter is titled Invitation to Attend Interview Job. An invitation to attend job interview. Now this is what I want to send to 5 recipients, let's say for instance. And I want to send it at once so that everybody will just see, and each and every recipient of this letter is going to receive his letter with his name and address on top of it. Mail match is very wonderful and fantastic. I will show it to you step by step, please. So now, remember, I select this environment and then click, okay, I select Start Mail Match Group and then I select letters. Now the next thing is I am coming back to say, I want to create mail match using step-by-step mail match wizard. You see the place? Step by step mail match wizard. Wizard in computer is a professional term or technical term that explains how computer will help you create something without much of your interference. That is why it said wizard. Now let's click on the step by step mail match. I select step by step mail match. So come to this environment by the right, you see this place is showing that this is the mail match, this is the environment. And when you come here, you will see that my mail match is showing steps here, which is step 1. So when you start, it will show and it will start with step 1. Do you see step 1 here? Step 1 of 6. That means that we have 6 steps to complete mail match. Wonderful and fantastic. Step 1 is to select the style like we did before. So in case you have changed your mind, you want to change another style, you can come here and select it. Is it letter? Is it email messages? Or what? Or labels or envelope? So like I said, in our case, we want to start with letters. So I click on the letters here. Then I click next. So you see, now we are in step 2. Step 2 is telling you how do you want to set up your letters. Do you want to use the current document? Or do you want to start from a template? Or do you want to start from existing document? In my case, this is the document I want to use. So it is a current document here. So I want to use the current document. Then that's all. You move to step 2. Click on the step 2. Now in step 3 is telling you that you need to select recipient. Who are the recipients of your letter? Now in this case, you are exposed to many options here. They said you can use an existing list. That means that if you have a database that has the name of the people, their address, email address that you want to use at once to send the message to, then you can quickly import it using use an existing list here. But if you don't have a list, you need to create one, or you need to select from Outlook contact. If you have contact in Microsoft Outlook which you have saved, which people you have their database, everything is there, you can select from the Outlook contact, then send the message to them at once. Else you type a new list. That is, you are starting from scratch. It's not your computer, or it is your computer, but you do not have any database of any person in it. Therefore, it is imperative that you type a new list. Now, in my case, I have an existing list. I will use it, but I will still teach you how to create new lists, because I want my student to have excellent, to be professionally trained, to know how to do these things even after this environment. Now, I will use an existing list for now, but I will show you how to create a new list. So I come here and select a different list. Select a different list. So I click here. So it exposes me to where I have my data sources. These are the source of data I have. I have database here. So now I have a mail match practical, which I've created it for this purpose. So I click on the mail match practical. It is a list containing names, address, phone number, and bios of the recipient. Now I double click on the mail match to get the list. Now this is the list. You see the list? This is the list of recipients that will be used in your match. Use the option below to add or change your list. Use the checkboxes to add or remove recipient from the match. When your list is ready, click OK. Now these are the lists. For instance, I don't want to send this message to one of the following recipients. I don't want to send it to Benjamin, for instance. So when I click on this checkbox, I have removed him from the list. That means I'm not going to send him. He's not going to receive the message. Now in this case, I click on the list because I want also Benjamin to receive the list. Now what next? The next thing is to click OK, because I want to send it to 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 recipient. So I click OK. Now do you see here that I have selected the list and I have selected people that I want to send, and I have clicked OK. Step 3 is saying that next, write your letter. I have already written my letter, which is here, so you don't need to panic. You have letter already. So now what is remaining in our letter is to have the address block, greeting line, and etc. So I'm going to use 2 things: address block and greeting line. This mail match will carry someone's address first, then greeting. Example, we can say the address of a person. After the address, then dear a person. Okay, let's see practical, please. Now I click on the address block here. Do you see this place? Address block. So click on the address block. It's telling you that this is how it's going to appear. Here is a preview from your recipient list. Now this is number 1 recipient. The address block will say Mr. Emmanuel Benjamin, BCTC as a company, Didango as an address, then benjoima@gmail.com as an email address. Is this what I want to appear? Yes, or if this is what I want it to appear, then I will leave it like this. If not, I will come here and I will say never include the country region in the address, or always include the region country in the address, or only include the country region if different than Nigeria. This is nothing to waste time about because it is self-explanatory. Now I want to use full address of this person, including his email address, so that he will be very sure that this message is sent to him, not anybody else. So I click OK. Bam. You see, address block. This is the code for address block. Don't worry. When we finish, you will see that the complete address will appear. Complete address will appear here when we finish. Don't worry. So now I take enter. I press enter so that I can have a greeting line. After his address, then dear so person is a greeting line. So I come here and then I click on the greeting line like this. So the greeting line is going to read, Dear Mr. Benjamin. If items in your greeting line are missing or out of order, use match fields to identify the correct address element from your mailing list. This is the match field we're talking about. So in the match field here, you can select, do you want title to appear, then last name, or do you want it to start with the first name? Do you want unique identifier, a first name, or what? You can select everything. You can always come here and select whatever you want to appear. But in my case, I'll leave it like this. I love it this way. Dear Mr. Benjamin. It's okay. I click on, or here if you like, or you can change as many things as possible if you want. The dialog box is there open for you for these purposes. I click OK. Bam. Now, what will appear is the address block and the greeting line. Now, I finished my mail match. Somebody is still looking. Okay, let's see practical. The next step is step 5. When I click next, is to preview. Do you see it? Fantastic. Mr. Emmanuel Benjamin, BCTC, Didango, benjoima@gmail.com. Dear Mr. Benjamin, invitation to attend job interview. Bam! Okay, let's see for the remaining recipient. You see my cursor here? You see it here? So this is recipient 1. If you can preview. Now, if it is a letter that I want to print it to everybody and send to his envelope, I will just press Ctrl P and then print the letter and then click on the next recipient, recipient 2. Mr. Dixon JDL, so, dear Mr. JDL, invitation to attend interview. Then I will print. Then click on the next recipient, which is recipient 3. Then I will click Mr. Geoffrey, just say BCTC. Then I will print. Then another recipient, Mr. Alpha, I print. Then I'll go to another recipient, which is recipient number 5, and do the same thing. Very simple. So without wasting time of typing their name, blah, blah, you have the database. You have their information saved in your system already. Or if you need to create a new one, you can do so. I hope you have understand this, and you are going to do it without waste of time. This is your practical. But let me go back again, like I promised, that this is an existing list. You may not know how I get the list. So now, we are going to start with create a new list. We are going to create a new list so that you will see it practical with your eye, with yourself, so that you can also do it as demanded. Now, I click on the previous to step 1. Now, let's delete this block. Bam, I have deleted it. Bam. So I'm coming here to a new environment. I want you to see that it is from the first place that I want to do it. Now, let's click on the next step, which I have selected later already. Okay, let's use this privilege to say it's an email address. So, send an email message to a group of people. You can personalize the email message that each person receives. Click next to continue. So I click next. So this is an email message that I want to send. You remember I said here I want to use current document. So this is the current document that I want to send. So I click on next. The next step, use an existing list. Use an existing list. Now I'm not going to use an existing list like I promised before. I'm going to create a new list. So I click here to type a new list. So I am prompted to this place. You see, create. This is the sign of database. They say create new recipient list. So I click on the create new recipient list. You see the dialog box appear telling me that this environment, type recipient information into the table. To add more entries, click new entry. And this is the new entry here. So the title of the person, let's say is Mr. His first name, let's say is Kachara. Then his last name, let's say is David. Then the company he's working at, let's say is NYSC. His address line 1, let's say is Kaltungo, Gombe State. Then his address line 2, let's say is in the Kaduna State. Let's say in Kaduna, he is living in a place called Kachia, Kaduna State. Then I click on the next. His city is Kaduna. Next, his state is also Kaduna. Then zip code, I don't have it, but let's say 123. And let's go to country of resident is Nigeria. It's Nigeria. And let's click on the tab to his home phone number is 081000000. Then let's go to his work phone number is 09081111111. And then let's move to his email address is kachara@gmail.com. And let's click on tab to come to the next person. The next person, let's say, is Miss. So let's say her first name is Margaret, and then the last name is let's say the last name is Usman, and her company, let's say, is Pure Water. Sorry, my Pure Water is having issue. Pure Water. Then let's say address line 1, let's say is Casina, and then the address line 2, let's say is Kaltungo, and then let's say her city of residence, let's say is Gombe, and then the state is Gombe, and the zip code we don't have it, let's say is 0123. Press tab. Her country of residence is Nigeria. So this is what I'm doing. I am creating a database that will use for mail match. I hope you have not forgotten it. So the phone number is 081000000 also. Then have work phone number 081233333. Then I click on the next thing. Her email address, let's say, is margaret@yahoo.com. And then I click on the next thing. I come to the next person. And the next person here, let's say, is Mr. Nelson. Sorry, this is the place for title. Then I click on tab. Then I type my Nelson. Let's say it's Nelson John. And let's say the company is working at is salt. Okay, let's say Dangote company. His state, let's say, is in Kano State. His address, okay, sorry, address line 1 is Kano. Address line 2, let's say, is Shangom, or let's say it's Karim Lamido. So the next thing is my A is missing. Karim Lamido. The A is supposed to be here. So now press tab. Then the city is Taraba. Then the next thing is his state, which is also Taraba. And then the zip code, I don't know, let's say 0123. Then press tab. His country of residence is Nigeria. In case he is not a Nigerian, you tap another country of your choice. His phone number is 0908755 something like this. Then I press next. His work phone number, which is 06043 something like this as a phone number. Then I press tap to his email address, which is Nelson at let's say outlook.com. And then the next person. So let's leave these three for this one so that we don't consume much of our time. This is how to create a database that will be used in mail match. Now the next thing is I click OK. Okay, in case you want to add another person, you don't want to fill all this address. Let's add the next person. Let's say Miss who? Let's say Miss this next person is, let's say, Miss Fati, and you don't want to ask the remaining information. So if you don't want to add the remaining information, you can use let's say she's in Gombe State here, and the next thing in address line 2 is let's say she lives in let's say in Kalarugu also, and you don't want to add the remaining information and you want to add another person. So you can come back here to new entry and click on the new entry to have another person. I hope you understand. You're clear about this one. That's very fantastic and wonderful. So the next thing is just click OK. You are finished creating your list. So you need to name the list. So which is list? Now this list is list 2 2021. So click OK. This is the list. Just for us to understand the list. They say you want to send this message to all these people. Then I say yes, I want to send it. Then you click here and say OK. You click OK. Bam. So you click on the next thing to preview. Now okay, to add address and the block. Now let's click on the address block. So if you want to start with the greeting before address, you can also click on it. But in my case, I want to start with the address block. So I click on the address block. They say the address is going to read Mr. Kachara David, NYC, Kaltungo, Gombe State, Kachara, Kaduna State, and then Kaduna, Nigeria, and the zip code is here. So I click OK. I press enter. Then I come to the greeting line. I click on the greeting line, and they say it's going to read Dear Mr. David. I say it's okay. Press OK. So I come to the next step, which is step 5 of preview. You see, Mr. Kachara David, NYC, Kaltungo, Gombe State, Kachia, Kaduna State, Kaduna, and etc. So I click on the recipient. Next recipient, Miss Margaret Usman, Pure Water, Kasina, Kaltungo, Gombe State. Dear Miss Usman, invitation to attend interview. I click on the next thing, which is recipient 3, Mr. Nelson John, Dangote Kano, Karim Lamido, Taraba State. That's very simple and easy. You can do this thing without looking at any material, without wasting much of your time. It's very fantastic, and I know you will do it. So today I'm going to stop here, and I will give you a chance so that you create your own. You make mistake, I'll correct you. If you know it very perfectly, it's also very good. I know and I hope that you enjoy the class and you're going to do it. Don't waste much time. You see this place: envelope, label, start mail match, edit, recipient, highlight match. All these are what I incited and are what I included in our dialog box. Very simple. I know you love it, you enjoy it, and then you are going to make use of it